Hey everybody, this is Pastor Ronnie. I want to share with you one of the most popular Bible stories I think there is in the Bible, and it's the story of David and Goliath. So exciting. Saul had been king, but he kept disobeying God, so God asked Samuel to find a new king. And God said to Samuel, "Go to Bethlehem, and there's a man named Jesse with 8 sons, and one of them will be the next king." When Samuel first met the sons, he automatically thought that the oldest son, named Eliab, would be the king that God had chosen. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look at the way he looks or how big he is. Eliab is not the one I have chosen. The way he looks doesn't matter to me. I look at the heart." Jesse brought more of his sons to meet Samuel, but none of them God had chosen either. And Samuel asked Jesse, "Have I met all your sons?" And Jesse replied, "I have one son left named David, and he's the youngest, and he's out there looking after sheep, and I will bring him to meet you." As soon as Samuel saw the Lord spoke to him and said, "He's the one." So Samuel anointed him with oil, which was a special way of promising him that he would be the next king. And from that day on, the power of the Lord was with David. And David continued to take care of his father's sheep in the fields. When he didn't have much to do in the field, he played instruments and he wrote songs and poems that you can find in the book of Psalms in your Bible. Meanwhile, Saul was still king and he ruled the people called the Israelites. And David and his family were also Israelites. The Israelites weren't getting along with people named the Philistines. The problem with the Philistines was that they had many giants living in their land. And one of the strongest and biggest giants was named Goliath. He was over 9 feet tall, which is taller than any person recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records. And he would have had to bend way down just to get through a regular door. Goliath was covered with armor to protect him, and he carried a great big spear. And every morning and every evening for 40 days, he shouted to the Israelites in his big, deep voice, "Hey, you guys, I dare you to find one man to fight me. If he can beat me, we will become your servants. But if I win, you become our servants." When Saul and all his men heard this, they were very afraid. And 3 of these men were David's 3 oldest brothers. And they were the only ones in David's family that could go fight because they were old enough. Now David's father Jesse heard about the giant, and he was worried for his sons. He called David out of the fields and asked him to take some food to his brothers and report back how they were doing. So David set off to visit his brothers, and as he approached them, he heard Goliath shouting his challenge like he did every morning. "Isn't someone going to stand up to this man?" David asked the men in the army. "Then I will fight this giant Philistine." And one of the men overheard this and ran to Saul and told him what David had said. And Saul approached David and said, "You can't fight Goliath. You're only a little boy, and he has been fighting for many years." But David said to Saul, "I have had to fight lions, and I have fought bears to protect my father's sheep. And God has kept me safe, and then he will help me keep me safe as I fight Goliath." It was too bad that Saul the king wasn't trusting in God to help him. He didn't know what to do to beat Goliath. Then this young boy named David came, and he knew in one day exactly what to do, and he trusted that God would help him. And that's why God loved David's heart and wanted him to be king. So Saul dressed David in his heavy armor to protect him from Goliath, but David took it off. It was too heavy. He could hardly walk, and he knew that God would keep him from harm. Instead, David went to a stream nearby and found 5 smooth stones, put them in a pouch around his waist, and with his sling he went to Goliath. As David approached Goliath, Goliath looked at David and thought it was a joke. Goliath thought he could easily beat David, and it was funny that Saul would send only a small boy to fight him. But David said to him without fear, "You fight with a sword, and I come with God on my side, and today everyone will know that there is one true God in this land." Goliath didn't care what David said, and he moved closer to attack him. David ran quickly to meet him, and reaching into his pouch, he pulled out a stone and put it into his slingshot and shot it at Goliath. The stone had hit him right between his eyes, and suddenly Goliath started to lose his balance. He fell with a loud thud right on his face. David had done it. He beat the giant Philistine. When the rest of the Philistines saw this, they ran away, and David became a hero to all the people in Israel. Isn't that exciting? I love that story, and I trust you enjoyed it. And this will strengthen your faith and cause you to become a stronger Christian and become a David, and you will run to meet the enemy just like David ran to meet Goliath. God bless you. I love you.